Hey y'all, I'm Raina Harper, and welcome to EveRe-Watch Way, where I podcast a spell that takes a hold of you, for the show where I reminisce and recap the Nickelodeon fantasy series Every Which Way. We go into each episode of the show here, and I get into detail on everything relating to what happens in the show, what I remember from keeping up with it in 2014 and 15, and all the fun knowledge and commentary I can bring in with it, including with my magical guest today, my magical cousin, who's definitely a witch. Isn't that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
My cousin Tate or Potato Harper.
Hello, that's me.
Welcome, Tate. How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
I've never done a podcast before, so I'm ready to rock and roll, as they say.
Ready to cast some spells
Yes, you could say that.
and protect your powers from the evil principal. It's coming to a head today, isn't it? We just watched the final 2 episodes of the first season, and yeah, this is a really exciting high point for me. Finishing off this first season with our episodes today, and you watched it with me just now, didn't you, Tate? These last 2.
They're still fresh in my brain, and I wish they weren't.
Oh, yeah. I'm such a good cousin. I come over to your house and have you watch things that you definitely want to.
Oh, it's okay. You'll make it up to me somehow.
Is it fun? Well,
I'll get those 40 minutes back someday.
We're gonna have a fun time. You can be as snarky as you want. Get it all out.
Okay.
So we watched the episode 19 of 20 of season 1. Which witch is which? Ha ha ha. And the chosen one. So I've shown you this show like going back a few years now, right?
I think we watched the first 2 or 3 episodes like a while ago, but
yeah, and then like one from season 3, wasn't it?
I
Just
think
randomly.
so.
It was like early on during the pandemic.
I think it was because like the title or something was particularly stupid, so you wanted to show it to me.
I think it was because of just like at the end of these episodes here, Daniel sings a song.
Right.
He performs a song, and well, say what you want. He has a nice enough voice, I think. Anyway.
He has no idea how to use GarageBand on his laptop though. Generic piano beats.
Oh boy, we're gonna get into all that with when we get into our opinions of the moment to moment things that happen in this episode, these 2 episodes, and I don't think I need to ask you what your opinion, what you thought of these episodes overall, but do you anything else you want to share about that, like top line in any case?
For it being, we discussed it a little bit, for it being a show from 2014, it is painfully early 2000s coded, especially the decorations and the wardrobe. No direction, no style, no nothing. It's just kind of
everything
like,
everything
bright colors.
clashes.
Yeah. Bright colors, every pattern known to man. Like, zebra print and cheetah print on top of each other. Why not?
Like every element of set decoration clashes with every other element.
It's what would you say is the opposite of a feast for the eyes?
An eyesore.
Yeah, definitely an eyesore.
And same with the outfits.
Yeah, I saw somebody wearing acid washed orange jeans, and I think I'd be okay if I never saw that again in my entire life.
I don't want to pull on the thread of the get your anime on dance just yet, but we'll get there. So anyway, we pick up in this episode from the cliffhanger when Emma and Andy had maliciously snuck into Maddie's house in order to like try and get some advantage over her, and like they sneak into her house and they found, of course, the like we need to see what Maddie has in her locked trunk that she's been guarding of this whole time. That there must be like some sort of like magic device or something.
So they didn't know anything about they just broke into her house for no reason to try and get dirt on her for something? Okay.
They're such likable main characters, aren't they?
Yeah.
And so, but then they feel bad because they break into her chest and find like the only photo that's left of her and her dad, because her dad presumably died. And they're like, "Aw, now I feel bad for breaking into her house."
Everybody from the few episodes I've seen, everybody really likes breaking into each other's houses through the windows. Nobody locks their windows in this town.
They probably should. They live in Miami, so
Oh, that's where they are?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I should know from
Well,
all the
actually, North
establishing.
Miami.
North Miami. That's different from the rest of Miami?
Yeah, it actually is a separate like city itself.
Oh, okay.
Um, I looked it up,
Hmm.
but yeah. And also Daniel had had seen them like breaking into the house, and he went in after them.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask why he was even in there.
So he was like trying to see what they were up to. He catches them like snooping through Maddie's stuff, and he's like, "What's going on?" And they don't have a chance to like come up with a story or anything before Maddie comes in herself.
Mm-hmm.
And she sees him in the hallway as he sees the two, like Emma and Andy in Maddie's bedroom, and for some reason, like, well, he doesn't he he just covers for them because he's such a nice person. He's like,
If I were in that situation, and I don't know if I might rat him out.
yeah,
Say,
I probably would too.
or I just wouldn't also break into the house as well, because that seems counterintuitive. Because then I would also be liable to be arrested. But there probably aren't cops in this town.
But Maddie likes him, so it's okay.
Right, right.
She's okay with seeing him in the house, and he's like, "Oh, I just walked into your house like old times." And then she says, "It's creepy yet incredibly romantic to find you here." And meanwhile, Andy inside Maddie's room and when Emma's like, "Should we like sneak out the window?" And Andy like speaks out loud when Maddie's a few feet away, like, "No, we can't do that." and of course Maddie doesn't hear it.
Yeah.
Because no one can hear things that they're not intended to hear, no matter how close they are.
That's how it works.
Um,
To move the plot forward.
yeah, and
whatever plot it may have, if there even is one.
Yeah, you can see it like on Daniel's face, like how confused he is as he tries. Like he doesn't even know why really he's covering for Maddie or for Emma and Andy.
If I were in that situation, if I found the guy I liked in my house trying to block me from going into my bedroom, I would probably be a little more alarmed than like charmed,
Especially when you just saw him like in your house, like out of nowhere.
Yeah, that would kind of freak me out a little bit. Just a little bit.
Like you hear a thud, and she's like, "What's that?" Tries to go into her room, and he's like, No.
Nope.
No.
Oh, hey. Hey, actually, I have a gift for you.
Yeah, he like, oh my god. He was like, "Hey, I just wanted to see you like old times," and she's like, "Wait, is this about Diego asking me to dance? Are you trying to ask me instead of Diego?" And he says, "No."
That would have been the perfect. She made the perfect cover for him, and
Maddie like
anyway.
looks rightfully offended at that.
Yeah.
Like, of course, Maddie is not a good person, but I'm like with her on that one.
Nobody's a good person in this show. They're all very morally gray. At least from my analysis of the like 4 episodes I've seen.
And also everyone's really dumb.
Unbelievable.
I mean, that's been established over and over in this show, but like it's very clear, like especially in the finale of this episode.
Yeah, and there's the one girl and the Jaguar, the Panthers. What are they? The Panthers.
They sound like the plastics you see.
Yeah. There's one girl that's supposed to be dumber than the rest of them. Mm-hmm. But you can't really tell that that's what she's trying to do because everybody else is pretty much just as dumb as she is.
Yeah.
Because nobody.
So
it's just hard to.
So out of desperation, Daniel hands Maddie the CD that he was gonna give Emma.
Why did he just have that on him?
I think what they're trying to get at is he followed Emma into the house because he was ready to give it to her.
Oh, okay.
Or my guess is that he was headed to her house anyway. So on the way past Maddie's house, saw them entering Maddie's house.
I see.
That's what
That's your
that
theory?
makes sense enough.
Yeah.
But so he very painfully is like, here, this is a gift for you, Maddie. And she's like, oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave now.
And they just, yep,
Uh,
no questions asked.
and there's a great shot actually, where Daniel's just framed in the doorway. Maddie grabs the CD out of his hand, but she's like out of view. I actually quite like that. Where like it like just isolates him, being like, why am I doing this? I don't know if that was an intentional like choice, but I think it works. But maybe I'm just alone and like looking for like the
At least
thematic.
some element of quality in this show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Emma owes Daniel big time right now.
Because he just had their back regardless of all the crazy crap they were doing.
Yeah.
For no reason.
And not just here, like she's been hiding stuff from him for quite a while, and that really comes to a head here, because of course she's been trying to cover up the magic stuff. Maddie gleefully goes to listen to the song as Daniel leaves with angry regret, but then she steps on the photo of her and her dad that Emma and Andy had dropped on the ground. She didn't realize it was there, steps on it, and then she like picks it up. It's like, what? How did this get here? Look, and like sort of sadly looks at it like, oh man, now it's broken.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, wait. She says in the next scene, like, this was in the locked trunk. Someone came in my room and snooped around.
Yeah.
And
I feel like I'd want to put a nice photo like that, like at least on my on my like nightstand. But no, she has 3 photos of herself isolated by
3
herself.
different photos
of her, but not the really sweet one of her and her dead dad.
Well, I think the implication is that she's like she like so guarded, like she wants to be like so above it all, like not be like bogged down with sappy feelings, that she hides that one photo away.
I think you're giving this character too much credit.
And I think that's reasonable enough. But so meanwhile, Diego and Mac are snooping through the secret lair behind the principal's office. Their secret magic lair full of magical artifacts and books and whatnot.
Right.
And they see a bunch of like prophetic images in a book, and like of a fight like prophesized between the principal and Maddie, where there's like magical energy being exchanged as they both have their arms out, and they're like, oh my god, that looks like, it kind of looks like Maddie, and you were like, that looks exactly like Maddie.
It doesn't kind of look like her, it is her. It's the same stupid hair and stupid skirt.
It looks, we remarked, it looks like a photo with one of those like rasterized effects on it, printed on brown paper.
Yeah, it makes you look like a sketch or something.
Yeah. Like specifically one of those photo effects.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh my god, below that, someone else. Oh my god, look, it's you, Diego. I was like, whoa, that's so weird. Quick, we better see if there's any more drawings of me.
The principal note, like she hears something going on back there, right?
Yeah, and she's talking with Julio, her adopted son. She turned a frog.
Julio is her adopted son?
She turned a frog into a human and then adopted him.
Is that legal?
Well, I don't think she cares.
Metaphorically adopted son, not legally, because he probably doesn't have any birth records.
Yeah. Frog birth records.
Frog birth records. They'll need a
They keep
frog
those, right?
social security card too.
Yeah. But Julio covers for Mac and Diego because he like sort of knows about them. He knows about the Kanai thing, and I think it's pretty clear that he was at least tacitly trying to fight back against his mom. Like, what if I didn't want to be part of your army? And she's like, well, then you can go back into a frog where you came from. And he's like, never mind, I'll be with you. Yeah. and because Mac and Diego like they leaned on the wall which rotates around, Diego hears this, and right as the principal says, like, "You're gonna be turned into a frog, just like I'm gonna do to that young can I, Diego. After I have to hold hands with him during the transfer of power." Yuck. It was
Racist.
so weird. And he's like, I
Racist.
have to hold hands with him for just a moment during the transfer of power.
And she tried so hard to like fake. She was acting so hard to try and fake a gag, but
well, she acts so hard in every single second.
but she gets nowhere. She can't act her way out of a wet paper bag.
and yeah. and
I hope that lady doesn't hear that I said that about her.
Oh yeah.
Break her heart.
Sorry. I'm sure you're a good person.
Yeah, good person, not a good actor.
Well,
crush your dreams. Sorry.
that's Tate speaking, not me. And so, with her Panthers, Maddie is concerned about her room's security, especially for her copy of the Hexerin. She's like, I gotta keep this Hexerin somewhere safe, and I don't know about if my room is safe anymore, because someone got into my trunk, my locked trunk. See? And, well, she tries to imply this by just showing the broken picture frame to Katie, and Katie just looks at it and says, "You look just like your dad." And Maddie's like, "That's not the point!" And then Sophie is like, maybe Daniel was here because he was covering for Emma snooping through your room. And Maddie's like, no, that can't be the case. Daniel was here because he was here to give me the CD with the song that he wrote for me.
The quote-unquote dumb one hits the nail on the head with exactly why he was in her house.
Yeah, and when Maddie glares at her, Sophie deflects by saying, "You do just look like your dad."
I don't remember. I don't know the way they deliver lines. Like sometimes I can't really tell if they're trying to be funny or if that's just how they're saying it to be serious. I don't know. I mean,
there are some odd deliveries. Like I've commented on that in most episodes of this podcast. Like there's one particular one later which we'll get to. So they decide to I noted down here, and you independently brought this up, Sophie's pink jacket with the bow ties on it.
And she layered it over like a button-up denim printed shirt with like lace that was all along the like button thingy, the button line or whatever. Mm-hmm. It was great.
And Katie's necklace is very odd. It's a giant like some like black ornament thing.
It looked like the necklace was wearing a necklace because it had a chain dangling off of it too. Mm-hmm.
Or was that Maddie's neck? No, wait. No, Maddie's necklace was more tasteful. Never mind. Oh.
That's a stretch, but it was definitely more tasteful than the one. What was it? What's her name? Katie was.
Katie. Yeah. Yeah. Maddie, Katie, Sophie, Karen. Oh wait, no wait. Regina, Gretchen, Karen. That's the analogs.
Yeah. When did Mean Girls even come out?
A decade before this.
Ah. Wow.
Yeah, it's not the first time I've brought this up in the podcast, them being like clear plastic analogs.
Knockoffs, yeah. And you said that everything about this movie was like 10 years out of date or like 10 years...
This show, right?
Yeah, everything in the show.
We also just love the super fast establishing shots, like sped up footage of like helicopter shots of places.
Like time-lapsed. Okay. No need to take your time with that. Now we're at the school, and they're going to show us a 2-second clip of some clouds passing over the school to make us, believe that we've traveled there, I guess.
Then we get a great scene of Ursula still crying on Emma's dad's shoulder. Because she's convinced that Emma's dead from the previous episode. Like...
Why does she care about Emma being dead?
Well, she's using it as an excuse to cry at her dad's shoulder.
Oh, because she has the hots for Emma's dad?
Yeah, it's not creepy or weird at all. And she's being hysterical, and her dad's like, Yeah. Emma, I know you're not dead. Just call me when you get this message, okay? And and then Ursula shouts into the line, "She's gone! She's gone!"
And it sounded exactly like that.
Yes, but then right then Emma just comes home with Andy, and Ursula's like, "Is she a ghost?" And that and Emma's like, what are you on? What's happening?"
So why did she think she was dead?
Okay, so in the last episode, the principal was cast a spell to disintegrate Emma. Emma teleported away just in time.
Oh,
And Maddie
okay.
saw this and reported this to her mom.
All right, I see.
But they were all mistaken, of course.
It's funny that what's her name, Maddie's mom is more distraught about Emma's death than her own father.
Well, her dad's like, he's like, that definitely isn't true.
Yeah.
Because he's a sensible person slightly.
Does he know that Emma's a witch?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
But yeah, he's for the most part. I mean, I have some serious beef with him, which I've brought up before. But for the most part, he's a sensible enough person.
He's all right.
Yeah, but and
So Emma's not dead.
yeah, and Emma reacts in awkwardness, and Francisco asks Ursula, like, "Ursula, are you okay? Like, why did you think Emma was dead?" It was a pretty funny moment. And Andy over on the sideline eating chocolate. She's eating a chocolate bar.
She's so quirky.
And she laughs. She's like, haha. Maddie's mom's crazy.
She's eating chocolate that's not even her chocolate. She took Emma's chocolate.
Yeah.
That's so mean.
Yeah. So Maddie was like, let's play the CD that Daniel gave me. He wrote a song for me. And then Sophie says, "Aw, how very Taylor Swift of him." Which I commented to you is like both relevant and dated at the same time. The thing to say.
Yeah.
I know they're talking about like early Taylor stuff.
Yeah. I think she like quoted it too. She like quoted a song too. It was like there's the super romantic nice stuff and there's the really mean stuff that's the like we are never ever ever getting back together type.
Yes.
That's subtle.
There's the "wanna get together with you" songs, and then there's the "we're never ever getting back together" songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she automatically assumes that it's going to be a breakup song.
Yeah, and like this show by name has referenced Nicki Minaj and Lady Gaga before.
Wow.
You can just do that, I guess.
I guess. If you have a time slot on Nickelodeon, you can reference whatever you want.
Yeah, and so they put the song into the CD player on her laptop, and
And it was the song that he had performed before, right?
yeah, and it's it's the song that he performs again at the very end.
Yeah.
There's like, every Sunday afternoon. Yeah, and like Katie and Sophie have leaned into the laptop speakers like trying to hear it, and then Maddie turns up the volume.
Yeah.
And then they're like, ah! Which is such a funny joke, isn't it?
It was so funny, and they definitely acted like it was funny and, did it very slapsticky. It was hilarious.
But then they're like, oh, there's a bonus track on the CD. And they're like, and Daniel says in this voice message, like, man, I think we really have a good connection, and I love spending time with you. What we have between us, and for a few seconds, Maddie and her Panthers are like, oh yeah, this is so nice from him. Yeah, I love it. And then he says, what we have between us, Emma, it's never going away. And then they're like, what?
Yeah.
Emma? Did he just say Emma? And they're all like,
and they all lose their minds.
Yeah. And
did Daniel and Maddie have some sort of history that I
yes.
unaware of?
Uh, yeah, Daniel is Maddie's ex
Oh, okay, so they dated.
before Emma came into the picture.
I see, okay.
And that's a huge part of why Maddie's jealous of Emma.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention the magic thing.
Right.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, Diego, meanwhile, is quite betrayed by Julio when he hears him agreeing to always be loyal to the principal during the eclipse, which includes making Diego disintegrate. And they look at each other. They're like, and then Diego's like, no, I can't believe you, Julio. How could you do this? How could you be like this? And and Julio like doesn't appear to be apologetic that much at all.
Yeah.
His,
What are you gonna do when you used to be a frog and the lady that, made you a human bosses you around? You're probably gonna listen to her, right?
yeah.
Because she could turn you back into a frog at the drop of a hat, I suppose.
Yeah. And and then and and then after the prince so Julio like convinces the principal to leave the room, like distracts her. Then he like pushes Diego around on the rotating wall, and then Matt comes out the other side and is like whoop, and Julio's like he's like exasperated at that, then pushes him around again, and then pushes Diego aside past the wall.
Your description of it is more entertaining than actually watching it.
And then Julio leaves, and then and Diego is like somber, like, man, Coach Julio, I can't believe that he would betray me like that. And then Max says, sorry, bro, but let's get out of here.
So sympathetic.
Yeah,
But he still has his priorities straight. They need to get out of
yeah.
there.
Sorry, bro, but let's get out of here. See, you could like, I would probably just like say one more thing, like, yeah, and that must really hurt or something like that.
Yeah, that sucks. All right. Peace out, homie.
Yeah.
I'd say peace out, homie, instead of sorry, bro.
Exactly. Do you say bro to your girlfriends?
All the time. Yeah, that's girl code now. You gotta call your girls bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Brosif.
Brosef, home slice, home skillet, all the terms.
Wow. Home slice, home skillet. Those are all on the get your anime on like cards on the wall.
Oh, that
Well,
wouldn't surprise me if they were.
um, so Daniel comes over to Emma's house, and he was like, "We need to talk," and she gives a great face, like, well, we're in an audio format, so I can't communicate that. But she gives like a slightly sheepish expression.
Mm-hmm. Like, aw.
Yeah.
Aw.
Like, I don't know. And then he's like, asked point blank, why are you at Maddie's house? And then she says she's trying to be vague about it, like while like making it sound morally justifiable. I had to get something back that she took from me, which is a lie. They went into Maddie's house to get dirt on her.
Mm-hmm.
Like she sort of plays it like she's technically telling the truth. No, she's not. But Daniel's like, well, can you be more specific? And then she says, it's a book. and then he's like, I don't understand anything that's going on. Like, it's like why are you being vague and like deflecting all my questions, and Emma gives an analogy. It's like I know it's confusing. There's so much that I can't really say. It's like when you're watching those cop shows and there's loads of twists and turns in the case, and when you get up to go to the bathroom for a minute and you come back and you're totally confused, and Daniel's like, because you're missing a key piece of information, right? Yeah. So what's the key piece of information you're not telling me? Good on you, Daniel. That you really turned that around. And then she says, I can't tell you. What? Why? You have to trust me. That's for your own good. My own good? Like, you're not being straight with me now.
Mm-hmm. They're not having a real conversation about whatever.
They're not on the same page.
No.
But then, there's a knock at the door, and like Emma can tell it's the principal, and she says to Daniel, "You have to hide." And he's like, "What?" Like, you're making him hide now, but I mean, it's reasonable. So he hides under the kitchen table,
Mm-hmm.
and 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 the principal lets herself in via magic, and and it's like, hello, Emma. Like, I am going to take your powers. We're right at the time of the eclipse, and no one can stand in my way of me taking your powers. You're gonna go along with me, or I'm gonna, destroy every one of your friends.
She barges into her house to give away her entire plan and the exact time and location of her plan and
Yeah.
everything, and doesn't expect her to be concerned or do something about it.
And Emma like tries to be coy about it, like, oh yeah, I am fast. You could call that magical. Hee hee. And the principal's like, yeah, you're a witch. And of course Daniel hears this and he mouths like, a witch? What? and then she's like, you are the chosen one, and I will take your powers.
Ooh, so threatening.
Yeah, and she says this with her arms crossed.
Just kick her in the face. Nothing you can do about that.
Yeah, but then Daniel sneezes.
There wasn't even a butterfly around for him to be allergic to.
Oh my god, there should have been. That would have been great.
Yeah, he just sneezed for no reason.
It just goes, and like, it's not a sneeze like, it's like, achoo!
It's like very pronounced.
Yes, and the principal's like, ooh, someone else here? And so then she looks, and Emma, out of desperation, casts a spell to teleport Daniel away. So I think, so now, without a shadow of a doubt, he knows that magic exists. Like, he's had it cast on him firsthand now, and he teleports to the pool, and you said to me, like, oh, did she kill him?
That'll take care of the Daniel problem. She won't have to tell him anything if he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just killed.
Just vaporizes him right there. He's just been getting in the way this whole time anyway.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he did help cover her, but like, I don't know. He's stupid.
Yeah. So he teleports to the pool, and the principal, meanwhile, is like, he's not there now. You're fast. Like, you're quick, but you're no match for me. Very soon I will take your powers, and like, no one can stand in my way. And then, like, not you or your little friends. Then there's a knock at the door. And then Emma, like, rushes over to, like, try and get whoever it is away. We don't want any! And then Tony, who was knocking at the door, he says, it's me! And then the principal, like, hears his voice and is like, is that Tony Myers? Smiling. And then she says, no, it's not. And then he says, it's me, Tony Myers! Which is, yeah, very natural of him to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
why was he even there?
I don't know.
Who is Tony?
A friend.
Okay.
He's a friend of Daniel's and Diego's and all that.
And he just showed up to her house for fun?
I'm guessing he was like, it was for some reason to like help out with the magic stuff.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Do preparations for the eclipse or something.
Just him though, not Diego or anybody else.
Yeah, well, I mean, Diego is occupied with other things.
That's true. Oh yeah, he's still doing the like breaking into the principal's office or breaking out of the principal's office thing, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And the principal is like gleeful, like, well, I'm gonna take care of you and all your friends. See you soon. Teleports away, and then Tony tries to like bust down the door. He's like, Emma, are you okay? That's it. I'm breaking the door down.
Does not
at
wait
her house.
a minute for any confirmation that she's
Yeah.
okay or not okay.
Yeah, and he's like, ha, and then we hear like a slight budge on the door. Wow, your door is sturdy.
Yeah. The comedy was ruined by him like being like, "Oh wow, this door is really hard to break down." Like he could have just like had just it would have been funnier if it was just a little tiny thud and then nothing happened. He's like, "All right, I'll try again." And then
or like, ow,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
meekly.
Yes, something less like obvious than being like, "Oh, this door is really hard to break down, Emma. I'm going to do it again."
And then
So dumb.
and then she rolls her eyes and opens the door right as he says, "I'm gonna break it down again now." Opens the door and he charges through it in the most wimpy way possible.
And then he runs into like another room or something.
Yeah. Yeah, and
The show could benefit from a laugh track because I don't know when to laugh because I just don't the entire time.
except when we're not supposed to.
Except when we're not supposed to.
Yeah.
I need some guidance.
Ursula, meanwhile, sees Maddie with the hexagon again, and is like, "Is that the hexagon? You kept this hidden from me? Again?" Other two Panthers are like, "Uh-oh, she's getting real mad. Let's get out of here."
She said her neck was tomato red. You know what that means?
Yeah.
And they just get up and kind of speed walk past her out the door.
Yeah. And it's real funny.
It's awkward as hell.
Mm-hmm. But Maddie's like, "This was given to me by my guardian. But I'm your guardian. My real guardian."
Talking about the principal.
Yeah, and her mom's of course offended. But like,
and then her mom doesn't show up the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
That her being offended or disappointed is not explored any further.
No, it's not. And
which is good because her mom is the worst character in the entire show.
Yeah. But Andy's watching Emma paint her toenails. She's like, "Why are you painting your toenails at a time like this?" "Well, it relaxes me." And she's painting her nail polish and then blows on them to dry and then sees something on the bottom of her foot. It's the star-shaped birthmark. That's the mark of the chosen one. Hooray!
Wow, how convenient.
They didn't see it until now.
I guess they've never had like a toe painting slumber party in front of each other until that point.
Yes, they have. They told.
Oh.
Like they're like Andy's over at the house all the time, and they do activities like that.
Well, they're just
They're
not very observant individuals.
No. Yeah, we commented at the end like everyone in this show is stupid.
And they're all written to be that way. There's nobody who has an edge over anybody. They're all like literally on the exact same playing field. Because none of them
have two brain cells to rub together.
No. None of them tries to get the upper hand or tries to, use, I don't know, anything to their advantage.
Yeah.
They just kind of all exist at the same time and they're all kind of just doing whatever.
Yeah.
Nobody's more intelligent or less intelligent than anyone else.
Even the character who's marked as the stupid one.
Yeah, that's why there's no stakes. Because nobody has any advantage over anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Like even like the witch who's like seems to be like advanced in her like they're trying to imply that she's like has advanced powers, but she doesn't like.
She has this whole secret layer implying that she's like some super villain, some super evil individual, but she literally
is taken down by a bunch of kids.
Yeah, and all the kids don't know what the hell they're doing either.
Yeah. It's like, in the first Harry Potter book, the Sorcerer's Stone is kept behind a bunch of like fail safes, like a bunch of like crypts and
like the
puzzles and things.
Yeah.
But like 3 first-year Hogwarts students are able to get to it.
Mm-hmm.
Not very good security.
Yeah.
But
But they only really get to it because Hermione knows everything, and it's clear that she's the intelligent one out of the 3 of them.
Yeah.
And, you know, Harry's obviously the quote unquote chosen one in this situation, so he has the advantage of kind of like, I don't know.
I wonder if he has a birthmark on his foot. They never bring that up, but maybe he does.
Just, I mean, there's the scar, but maybe there is also a birthmark indicating that he's the quote unquote chosen one as well. And
Maybe it's on his foot.
maybe there's never a full foot shot in any of the Harry Potter movies.
Like they never think to look at his foot for that reason.
No.
So it could be.
Nobody's ever thought to look at Harry Potter's feet for any reason.
I would ask J.K. Rowling, but she'd but then she would just say I don't deserve gender affirming care and then block me on Twitter. So
yeah, not worth the hassle.
Yeah. So anyway, so the principal tells Maddie that Emma's actually the chosen one, even though they thought Maddie was for a brief while because of the whole thing.
Now, why does the principal know that?
Because of how skilled Emma is. Like, she can cast spells real fast and all that.
Okay.
Like,
she didn't see her feet?
No, presumably not.
Good. I would hope not. That's creepy.
She would be Principal Dan Schneider or something. Or Principal Quentin Tarantino. Who would you rather have as your school principal? Let's not answer that.
I'd drop out.
Yeah. I would, if I went to Quentin Tarantino's school, he would just say the N-word a lot. So Emma goes to ask Maddie for help at her house. Like, just wanders into her room again.
Yeah.
Because
nobody locks
their doors. And
North Miami, as they say, you know.
North Miami is like Canada. That's what we all say.
Right. Yeah. North Miami and Canada are pretty much the exact same place, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Emma's like, Maddie, I need your help. And when she comes into Maddie's room, she's wearing a butterfly necklace and butterfly top. Do you get that she likes butterflies?
No, I don't think so. I think that's definitely not present in every scene that has Emma in it at all.
Or her room.
Or her room, or her house, or her clothes.
Yeah.
Or anything.
And Maddie's like, why should I help you? You just broke into my house again.
But this time it's for good reasons.
Yeah, we need to come together on this. The principal's after all of us. They could. It's not just about like the differences between you and me. Like, she could go after all our friends and our families. She's like, if I help you, what's in it for me? You mean besides not letting evil take over the world? Yeah. Well, what do you want? Your shoes. So Tate, describe Emma's shoes.
The fuggliest pair of shoes I've ever seen in my life. They're like sparkly silver pumps, but they have like, are they I don't know what they are, but they have laces that look like bright purple pipe cleaners, pretty much.
Yeah, they're like dance shoes, but not.
They're dance shoes with laces, and the laces are fuzzy and purple.
But like not actual dance shoes, but that style.
Yeah. And they did not go with her outfit at all.
Like they're like ones you get at Hot or like
Justice.
And Maddie's like, yeah, I want your shoes. Oh, and Emma's like, okay, you can have my shoes. And then Maddie
better off without them.
And then Maddie like looks down at them and Emma's like, oh, you mean you want them now? Yeah. Okay. Takes them off. Hand them to her. Okay. All right. Now will you help out? Oh, one more thing. What is it? You also have to give me Daniel. Because you know that you can just hand someone off to someone else. Like, because they don't have a say in it.
Nah, he'll be cool with it.
You can just do that. Like, I want your boyfriend. Okay.
Here you go. Here's his birth certificate. He's yours now.
Yep. But of course Emma's like, what? No way. Well then, forget me helping you. Bye. Shoos her away. But, Maddie, come on. Can I at least have my shoes back? No.
Good. She can have the. She
She can
has.
throw that in with the rest of her amazing looking clothes,
Yeah, exactly.
which I'm sure were the height of fashion in 2003.
Yeah, definitely not 2014.
Emma's at her house later, and Daniel shows up at the window. Okay, so there's a knock at the window. Oh my god, you want to describe this?
Yeah, there's a knock at the window, and she thinks it's the book, right?
Yeah. Oh my god, is that the Hexerin?
Yeah, and then she goes up to the window, and there's nothing there.
Looks around.
And then she hears a disembodied voice say, "It's me," and then Daniel just rushes up and appears in the window and scares the crap out of her.
Like,
right?
so he knocked on the window, like walked a few feet away, like around a corner. Emma looked around, he wasn't there. Then he rushes back.
And says, "It's me, it's me."
And then climbs through the window and gives her a hug. Aww.
A really half-hearted hug, if I do say so myself.
And they said, "Don't worry, Emma. I'm not gonna let anything happen to you." So he's like, "We're gonna go after the principal. We're gonna take her out." Their plan. So he's planning with like Andy and the rest of the Sharks, like with Diego, Tony, and Mac.
They have a name for their group.
Well,
The Sharks.
yeah. Well, that's the school like swim team.
Oh, okay, all right.
They're all on the swim team.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, the girls are named the Jaguars. It wouldn't
The
surprise
Panthers.
me. Or the Panthers, right?
Panther Plastic.
Right, Panther. Yeah. It would make sense if there was a boy equivalent of it called the Sharks, you know?
Yeah. But no, that's the swim team.
Okay.
And I'm sure it's the name of all the school sports teams.
Mm-hmm.
So the Iridium Sharks.
Is that an element on the periodic table?
It is.
Okay. Interesting.
It's a very rare element. I'm certain.
Oh, and it's implying that the students are rare because they're magical or something.
Maybe they're like unique and special.
I see.
And it sounds cool. Iridium.
Iridium High.
Sounds
They're in
a bit
high school?
Yeah, it sounds a bit like iridescent, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's very clearly like a private school because they all have school uniforms and such. And the school like looks like a castle. Like the outward design of it looks like
It does.
Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Or they that was clearly an intentional choice because it's a show about magic. You see?
Wow.
Oh, speaking of the uniforms, you want to describe what Maddie had on earlier?
Oh, she was wearing a necklace that looked like a colony of mold spores or like some type of fungal. It looked like a fungal infection of some kind draped underneath her tie.
Yes.
Underneath her tie, not on top. Like, ugh.
I thought awful. Maddie was supposed to be like popular because she's the fashionable one.
But she had to pair this bright neon green mold necklace with her neon orange and neon blue uniform.
Yeah, the orange shirt under an indigo jacket with like a blue tie, and like a bright green mold necklace underneath the tie.
That mold necklace makes more than one appearance throughout these 2 episodes, and probably throughout the whole show. But
speaking of fashion choices, we're about to get to the Get Your Anime On dance. I'm so excited to describe that, but we can't yet. We have to describe the scene of the Sharks going after the principal. So they gather at school to enact their plan. We're on a mission, you see. We all have a bunch of like weapons at our disposal, like including a blowtorch.
That they don't use,
coincidentally. And so they hide behind the wall, like in the hallway, as Julio and the principal are walking by, and the principal says to Julio, like, what should we do for our celebratory dinner? We should have those tube-like things that you like. What are they called? Burrados? Ha 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 ha.
You can't see, but I'm twitching out of anger.
No, you're twitching with laughter and how much you love the humor.
Oh, that's right. Exactly.
Sometimes you get those things mixed up.
I do, yes, pretty often.
And so so they sneak into the principal's office. They like hide, and actually they're ready to bust in, and they're like, they all have buckets full of water balloons, and they're like, yeah, this will work. We watched The Wizard of Oz where the witch, was killed by water, so this totally work. And so they bust in, they open the door, rush in like, ah, oh, they're not here. Okay, and let's look around for anything. But then the principal and Julio come in, and she like laughs, ha ha
They
ha.
come out from the lair, right?
Oh yes, yeah. And the principal's like, these kids, they're so cute, thinking they could attack me. And Julio says, "Sharks, what are you doing here?" And they're like, "We're taking care of business." And the principal like is about to like cast a spell, and Julio jumps in the way.
Like shields them.
And yeah, so
Like
the
taking a
spell
bullet.
the spell hits Julio's hand and he falls over.
Yeah.
But then all the kids are like, charge! Ha! And then they start throwing their water balloons. They all like just pelt her with dozens of water balloons. And then she puts on an act of going like, oh no, she does an impression of the Wicked Witch of the West.
I'm melting.
Melting. And we've seen Wicked recently. We know that works for real.
Oh yeah.
Even in The Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you consider it canon.
And she's just a puddle now.
Yeah,
just a moist spot in the gray, disgusting school carpet.
Yep. and then they're like, oh, that's taken care of then. Julio, are you okay? Oh yeah, I'm fine. He stands up and he gives like a ribbit. And then we see his hand is turned into like a frog hand, and it's like a prosthetic over his hand. And the both of us commented like, wow, that looks pretty convincing for this show.
It was probably, from like the 4 or 5 episodes I've seen, probably the best special effects out of all of them.
Exactly.
It was honestly surprising how high quality it was in comparison to everything else. And that's not saying much. Like, it was still, I don't know. It looked okay.
Yeah.
Definitely not Oscar worthy SFX makeup, but still.
Yeah. So Emma shows up after that and is like, I'm gonna turn all these frogs back into humans now, and is like, I'll do Lily first. She picks one out of the tank. I think this frog is Lily.
In the tank that has literally like 50 other frogs in it.
It's like the most green one.
Yeah.
And
the one sitting right on the rock, like with a little bit of lighting on it. Like,
This is the one we know.
Yeah.
Do you know who Lily is, by the way?
I think is she like the counselor or something?
Yeah, she's the school nurse who's like Emma's magical guardian.
Right. Okay.
And she was turned into a frog in the episode called Lily Frog.
Uh-huh. Wow. Clever.
And so she cast a spell like, I'm gonna turn this frog back into Lily, and it works. She's just sitting there like back into human, and they're like, oh my god, you're back!
Yay!
Both Emma and Andy hug her, and she's like, oh yay, mission accomplished.
That's the end of that episode, right?
Yeah. All right. Thanks for being on, Tate. We're done. No, we're not.
Oh.
Because of course the principal isn't dead.
Whoa! Who would have thought?
She faked it.
Yeah.
Or as Andy says later, she came back to life.
Yes. She died for reals and then somehow was resurrected.
She's definitely not just. She definitely didn't just use her powers to like fake that she melted or whatever.
Yeah, because she's the most powerful witch in the northern Miami area, so she knows how to do that.
Except for Emma will be the most powerful one day.
Yeah,
she's the chosen one.
She's the chosen one.
Yeah,
of course.
But meanwhile, everyone gets ready for the Get Your Anime On dance. So no one looks at all like anime characters.
It's an aesthetic that is
It's like
beyond
this,
description.
but it is what a school board would interpret as being like appropriately anime enough.
Yeah, lots of bright colors, horrible outfit choices. Lots of spiked hair, pigtails,
Stickers on the face.
stickers, really obnoxious.
Like rhinestones, like those
yeah.
stick-on rhinestones with
And
the
like
face.
spray painted like face makeup too. And
Neon colors and like Maddie's hair looks. I mean, maybe slightly anime-ish. Like
kind of because of the big pigtails, but
Yeah.
but that's literally the only thing that's even remotely close. It's like metrosexual meets Party City's interpretation of what the 1980s was
meets like a roller rink.
Yes, it's very roller rink-esque, like roller rink to
But like
times 1000.
but like put up by a bunch of parents.
Yeah. And there were a bunch of like all those like speech bubbles all over the auditorium.
Like you are GR8, great.
There's one that said fat but PHAT.
Haha, that's what the kids are saying these days.
There's one that said what with an exclamation point.
Wow.
Wow, cute.
Thanks,
I don't know.
THX, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Andy put a few more streaks in her hair.
Yeah. And wore a god awful hat.
Emma put on like glitter face paint to paint a butterfly wing next to her eye.
And she had like butterflies in her hair too.
Yeah. And Daniel has like spikes on the shoulders of his jacket.
But like you know like the holographic, or I don't know what it's called, but like the color shifty, it kind of looks like a scarab beetle color type thing.
Yeah.
That's what all of the spikes were painted to look like.
Yeah, and various characters have like neon colors, like sweat wristbands and.
Yeah.
Oh, yep. It's a school version of what anime was described to them as.
It's just literally, there's nothing remotely Japanese about it.
No.
No, nothing at all.
I just commented to you like it's like one parent involved with the school saw Akira once, and you were like, no, not even that.
No, I said like if anybody listening knows what Ouran High School Host Club is, I've only seen clips, but it's like the most sparkly, colorful, bright, flashy anime that I've, I guess, exposed myself to.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's more. There are animes that are definitely more sparkly and colorful than that, but like that.
And of course, plenty of anime has like neon colors in it. Absolutely.
Yeah, but not in the way that they did it. It was very Americanized in like a very cheap, ugly
sanitized
way. Yes.
Taken like any like potentially like outside of like a white person's comfort zone sort of thing.
No cultural influence from any culture at all whatsoever.
Yeah. Anyway,
just ugly. Look it up if you dare, I guess.
I mean, if you're listening to this, you've probably seen this show. So
most likely.
Yeah. Emma is preparing for the dance and is like, "Oh, Daniel hasn't called me. I don't know. This is worrying. He hasn't called me." And like Andy's like, "Yeah, he left his house. His parents said so." But Emma's like, "He might have stood me up." Ah.
But why?
Why would he do that? But then, right then, she gets a call. Oh my god, it's from Daniel! And guess who answers? The principal.
Bum bum bum.
She's not dead.
Wow. She's not a wet stain anymore.
She grabbed Daniel's phone and is like, "Hi, Emma. You're going to come to the auditorium so I can take your powers." And Andy's like, "You? I thought we melted you."
Yeah.
And also, the way she's holding the phone changes from shot to shot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in the shot like of like the point of view showing the phone is she's like holding in a super awkward position.
It's like it looks like it's about to fall out of her hand.
Yeah, but then the next shot where we see her in the frame, she's holding it like normally. And so it's just
We love the subtle consistency of this show.
yeah,
The
yeah.
attention to detail is really something else.
Yeah, and she's like, "You're gonna come here because I have something that you want," and holds the screen up to show Daniel. And in the shot here, he just looks like he's standing in the middle of the room, and he's like, "Emma, no, don't come. I'm fine. Don't come. Don't come." And and then and then the principal says, "See you soon." Hangs up, and and then Emma's like, "Oh my God, we gotta go rescue Daniel," or so one of them says it, and Emma's like, "Well, actually, I need to just go alone. I can't put any of my friends in danger." And then Andy says, "Aw, that's really sweet, but now's not the time. We need all hands on deck here." It's supposed to be like a sweet moment right there.
Yeah.
I can't put any of my friends at risk. I need to do this alone. It's
But like
uh,
if she's the quote unquote most powerful witch, I don't think she'd be able to handle it alone, especially for quote unquote powers are underdeveloped. I don't know.
yeah. So they're like, okay, we need to go help Daniel, and we need to get Maddie on our side, and we need to get everyone all hands on deck to resolve this. So so they head off, and and the principal is keeping Daniel as in pink goo, and
Mysterious pink goo.
and she's like, don't try and struggle your way out. This is a trick I learned in South America. It's bubblegum quicksand.
Yeah.
What? What does that mean?
Everybody in South America is always talking about it.
Like, why didn't you just say it's goo or like sticky goo?
Because there's only quicksand in South America. It doesn't exist anywhere else on the planet.
Or why didn't you just use quicksand? Why did you need to add the pink to it?
I guess so it's slower. I don't know.
Well, did you mix bubblegum and quicksand together?
It's magic.
It doesn't make sense at all.
It's magic. It works somehow.
Yeah, definitely. And so Diego at the dance, he sees his former teacher, and he's like, "Oh, Miss Pitch, hi! I haven't seen you in a while." She was formerly a frog. She was turned into a frog, and he's like, "Oh, have you done something with your hair?" And then she says, "Oh no, not really." She sees a fly in there, grabs it out of there, and eats it. Ha 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 ha.
Wow.
And then he's like, "Okay, nice to see you, Miss Pitch. Bye."
LOL.
But then he gets a door opens right next to him, and he gets sucked in.
By magical pink lighting.
Yeah, and Sophie sees this, and looks in the door, and then reports this back to everyone else. Like, and she says it in her Sophieism way, like. And then, and poof!
It's just a series of strange noises and gestures that's supposed to be funny, but it's just really hard to watch.
And everyone's like, "What?" And then Katie translates. "Oh, she saw Diego by a door, and there was pink light, and he got sucked in, and we're pretty sure the principal has him." Oh, thank you, Katie, for translating.
Yeah. Ha ha ha, she's the only one that can tell what the dumb character says.
Yeah. And then Andy reports that the principal came back to life. She reports this to Mac and Maddie and the others. And it's like, "Well, we gotta go rescue them. Let's go." They all rush out. And then Maddie's like, "Excuse me, Panthers." And then they are like, "Oh, right. We gotta walk in formation together."
They have to walk at regular speed behind everybody else who is rushing off to go.
Yeah, because we gotta look our popular clique selves. We can't be unfashionable.
Can't let the image disappear for a second.
Yeah, because everyone cares about it.
Exactly.
And so they go to the auditorium, and it's revealed like there's a giant dome ceiling that opens up for the full moon, or showing the eclipse rather.
Every high school has that.
Yeah, yeah, certainly the high school that we went to does.
Yes.
And so they're and so Emma shows up and is like, "All right, we're gonna start the transfer of power. I've been waiting for this." Diego is like the conduit. He has to hold hands for the transfer of power with Emma and the principal. And the principal creates a bubble pink shield around this to keep anyone from getting in. A couple different characters rush up to it and then just fall over.
One rushes up to it and then gets zapped away and falls over, and then another one does the exact same thing, and the exact same thing happens.
Because they thought that they could.
Oh yeah, hey, he didn't get through, but I can if I try harder.
Oh, it didn't work.
No, once again, they're all stupid.
So the hexarin, Daniel's able to grab onto the hexarin. It lifts him out of the bubblegum quicksand, and as Andy is trying to help Daniel out of the bubblegum quicksand, both of them are green screened onto the image of the stage.
Even though a few shots later they are actually on the stage.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's because they didn't have an actual floor, a hole in the floor that Daniel could be in, like.
Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Because they put the top half of him like on top of the image of the pink goo.
Right, yeah.
And so they filmed that part on a green screen, I'm guessing.
They figured it out.
But they did a better job of adding shadows than I did in one of my high school films. So credits there. Small amount of credit there. This professionally produced show is marginally better than this
semi-professionally produced show.
Yeah, that was on a major network. So then Diego, out of the bubblegum quicksand, has the hexarin. He hits the force shield with the hexarin and it disappears. And then someone, I think might be Mac or someone, tackles the principal.
Yeah, like full on body slams her.
Yeah. And then they're like, "Oh my god, we better run away." But then the principal gets up and is like, "Not so fast," and she starts like jabbing her arms out and casting spells over and over again at everyone, and like casting spells everywhere, knocking things over. Diego, or I think Daniel, it was Daniel, narrowly avoids getting hit by a falling paper mache column.
Oh my god, he was almost crushed.
Yeah.
What a shame that would have been.
Yes, he was. Yeah, that was a close one. So then they start chucking random stuff at her.
Yeah.
And they
Eat
say,
rocks, principal.
Yeah, and the way Daniel says it is great. "Eat rocks, principal."
And then hucks a giant foam rock at her that she promptly destroys.
Zaps out of there with the spell. She definitely needed to do that.
Yeah. And then they keep throwing stuff at her, and they just keep throwing, and then she just zaps it all out of the air.
Tony is like, "Ring toss."
Yeah. And he throws a plastic ring at her, expecting that to do anything, and she immediately just destroys it.
Yeah, and so then
see, none of them have any firepower. They don't know what they're doing. They're just all like, "Oh, you hucked something? Let's all also huck something to see if something else happens."
Just whatever we have.
Yeah.
Throw stuff.
Yeah.
Our priority definitely shouldn't be like running away.
Yeah, or just try and tackle her again. She's not moving. She's just standing in the same place, zapping everybody.
I'm sure you could.
Yeah, go for the legs.
Yeah.
Get a crossbow or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but Mac gets zapped and he's turned into a frog.
Oh no!
Standing out in the open. They're trying to like attack her from the cover of like auditorium seats.
Yeah. And while she's up on stage.
Yeah, and because she said she loves the theatrics of it. Like, "I know I'm going a bit overboard on the theatrics, but this is my big moment." And it's awesome.
Yeah. What was that big aluminum junk orb behind her?
I think that was supposed to help with the transfer of powers. I couldn't.
Because it's never. Was it explained?
I think the next season might have a bit of info on that, if I remember right.
Okay.
I'll let you know when I get to it.
But the thing is, we were never informed about it in the first place.
No, there's just a giant ball of metal.
Ball of like aluminum, and it looks like
Hodgepodge of things.
Yeah, there's a bunch of crap. Like it looked like there was like a bike wheel or like I don't know, bunch of metal crap all mushed together into a giant ball in the middle that she was standing in front of the whole time.
Yeah, and so Tony is like, "Oh my God, Mac, I'll put you in my backpack."
Just shoves him in there.
And yeah, so Diego uses his Kanai ice breath to freeze the principal in place
for like 0.5 seconds.
Yeah, and Emma tries to cast a spell at the principal, but her powers are too weak. She's like, "Oh no, my spell didn't cast. Oh no.
Oh no. Tackle her."
Yeah, but then she turns to Maddie and is like, "Maddie, we gotta pool our powers together to destroy the principal." But right then the principal is like, Maddie dear, why don't you come out now? You can be my first lieutenant." And Maddie is like genuinely, you can see like tempted for a split second.
Well, isn't she like her guardian or whatever?
Well, that's a lie. That the principal fed her.
Oh.
But Maddie's like, I could like get more power if I joined the principal. But then
for Emma, like 1 split second, she thinks that.
But then Emma gives her a
rousing speech.
Yes, a rousing speech like, Maddie, we gotta stick together. Why would I help you? Well, because we're alike in so many ways. Because we're witches. So that's a big change that we've both had to deal with. I guess so. And you lost your dad, and I lost my mom. We both had to grow up with, missing a parent. He's like, yeah, you're right. Okay. All right. Let's do this together. We can pool our powers together. But you owe me big time. All right. Okay. Sure. All right. What spell should we do? They both think on it. The hexer. Oh, Maddie looks up as if we hear the sound of the hexerin. Maddie looks up like just directly forward, and at that moment, as she looks up, the book is to the right of them, and it flies like in an arc into her view. Why?
No stage directions were given to any of these children.
No. So the book, the hexerin, shows them the right spell. It like makes it appear on the page, and they join hands together with the spell. They put their feet next to the hexerin each, and as everyone is still chucking stuff at the principal, they cast a spell together. She's been around longer than she should. Send the principal away for good.
And they kill her.
And she looks happy. Like she puts her arms up like and then
and then she's like a shadow for a moment, and then she like disappears.
Yeah. The principal's dead.
Yay! I said earlier in while we were watching it that she should be dead, and my wish came true.
Yep. So, the witch is dead. Hooray. And then we cut to
they're all back at the dance.
Back at the dance.
Because this all happened during the dance?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
And Daniel gets to go up on stage and sing a song to everyone. It doesn't matter where you are, I'll be wishing you were in my arms. And everyone cheers, and Emma like looks on like in approval, and then he brings Emma up on stage at the end of the song, and then they kiss in front of everyone. Everyone cheers, hooray, hooray.
But the kiss, they zoom in on both of them, and it's clearly not them, and they show like a split second of them kissing, and then they zoom back out.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's just weird that they had to zoom all the way in just to show their lips, and then they zoomed back out. Is it an interesting choice?
Yeah, but I forgot right before this. as Daniel's performing, Lily comes up to Emma and is like, "Congratulations, you did it! I knew you could." And then Emma's like, "Yeah, do you think there's any open positions to be a guardian?" And then she's like, "For Andy? No, no, no. For me. I lost my powers." Oh, the they everyone thinks that both Emma and Maddie lost their powers in this whole thing, even
Yeah,
though the
that
principal
one
died.
spell. Yeah.
And it's like Maddie tries to cast a spell too, and
And
she's
she
like,
doesn't do
"Aw,
anything. Yeah.
I can't. Oh man, did I lose my powers? If if I'm not a witch, then what am I?" And then I'm just normal. And then Katie or someone says
You're
like,
a panther.
you're not normal, Maddie. You're a panther."
And then they
Aw,
all
let's
hug and
hug.
smile and hug and
Aw, it's
smile.
so sweet. And yeah, then Daniel and Emma kiss, and that's the end of the dance. Then everyone goes to school the next day. Emma and Andy are around like, I don't know why we're even going to school. Like we're late for class. Oh, well, I'm glad we did this, and yeah, thanks for all you do. And then Daniel comes up.
Oh, doesn't the book like float up
Oh
to them
yes.
too?
Oh, Hex. No,
Yeah.
don't. Bad Hex. Don't float around us while we're at school.
Do you have a pet book now or something? That's what Andy said.
Yeah.
She's like, it'd be way cooler if you had a crocodile or what was the other thing she said?
Or a
Tasmanian devil. But that's
no,
okay.
no, no. She says or a Tasmanian devil.
Yeah.
So she put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Just the delivery of her being like, oh, it'd be way cooler if you had a crocodile or a Tasmanian devil. But it's okay.
That's okay.
But and then
She says it like our cousin Fiona. That's okay.
She just
Fiona, who's been on an earlier episode of this podcast, go listen to that one if you haven't. Yeah, she talks like that, but it's okay.
It's just the most awkward line delivery for no reason. She's just like saying what pets would be cooler than a floating book, which is all of them.
Yeah, but then Daniel comes up and is like, "Hey," and Andy's like, "Woof, I'm out of here." To cringe.
You romance.
Yeah, and you lovebirds can go at it. I'm out of here. And then he's like, wow, you look the same. I mean, not that you look worse than normal. I mean,
I just thought when you lost your powers you would look different, but oh, why did I say anything?
he's like Marinette in Miraculous Ladybug.
Yeah, just awful cringe.
Yeah, but then he's like, what I mean to say is, I don't care whether you have your powers or not. I like you for you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Daniel. And then Andy was like eavesdropping to the side, and she's like, "Okay, now I'm really out. Peace."
Yeah.
Well,
But like, it's kind of funny that he would even say that because he liked her before he even knew that she had powers.
yeah. You know,
It's just like,
it's true love.
wow.
And then he's like, "Well, do you have your powers?" And she's like, "Well, let me try. Uh, um, let's test whether I have powers. I'll cover this whole school in flowers." And like the spell light in her hand appears and everything, but like they don't see the flowers appear immediately. So Emma's like, "I guess they're gone for good." Oh well.
They're gone for good. One big spell really knocked it out of her.
Yeah, well, Daniel's like, "Okay, well, I'll see you later. See you in class. Bye." And then after he walks away, Emma turns around, but then sees oh, a flower appeared. Oh, loads of flowers appeared. Whoa, my powers are there after all. Hooray!
And she turns and looks directly at the camera and winks.
She winks directly at us, and that I remember that from all those years ago. Just she winked at us. That's the way to end the season. And at the time, I thought like maybe the show was over. Like this would be that's a good enough way for this show to like close the book. But yeah, that's the end of season 1 of Every Which Way. Thanks for being on this ride, Tate. To end this off.
Oh yeah.
Do you hate me now?
Oh no.
I mean,
Don't worry.
am I I won't speak for you, but I had a fun time with this.
Oh, it was fun. Yeah, of course.
I had a fun time with you and like making jokes and all.
Critiquing bad things with people is usually pretty fun.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm such a great house guest to have you do this. I know. Well, you can pick whatever movie you want after this.
Yes.
So yeah,
That's the deal we struck for this.
certainly. So yeah, everyone, thanks for listening to EveRe-Watch Way. We've now done with the first season. Tune in very soon. We'll be covering the beginning of season 2, and I'll have some more special guests on that I can't wait to share. And I'm sure Tate especially will need a while before even considering doing another one.
I as long as something interesting better happen in this show, and then I'll maybe tune back in.
Anything else you want to say as we end off, Tate?
I would say if you haven't seen this show and you want to listen to this podcast, just listen to this podcast because we have described it in a way that is infinitely more interesting than the show shows it.
All right then. Thank you very much, Tate. And so everyone, take care. Hope you all have an excellent week. Stay safe. And finally, best magical wishes.